Welcome, everyone. This is the Telarus Tuesday call for February 27th, 2018, and it happens to be National Strawberry Day, celebrating the fruit that was a gift from Chile back in the 1700s. So named, the story goes, because the berries would drop off the leaves and become strewn about the plant. Strewn berries became strawberries. Very unusual as fruits go, because their seeds are on the fruit's outside. So enjoy some strawberries today. And this isn't a plug, but strawberries go very well with IHOP National Pancake Day, also being celebrated today. Enjoy a free short stack of pancakes and donate to help children battling critical illnesses. Happy Strawberry Day! We invite you to log into our video feed for all of the information and to submit questions and comments for our presenters today. I'm Doug Miller, joined once again by Ray Hicken, Telarus VP of Sales Operations for Unified Communications and Contact Centers. Ray and his team are your experts in developing, proposing, and closing UC and Contact Center solutions. This is an exciting, growing, and very lucrative portion of the telecom landscape. Each Tuesday this month, Ray has welcomed some very special guests to our call who've taught us how to win with these opportunities. And today we dive a bit deeper as Ray welcomes both Five9 and SpiceCSM to our Telarus Tuesday call. Those exciting presentations and your questions will be coming up in just minutes. We also have an exciting new supplier to launch today and this week, Alibaba Cloud, providing a comprehensive suite of global cloud computing services to help power and grow your client's business. Alibaba Cloud is China's largest public cloud service provider and the third largest worldwide. Security, database services, storage and networking, and elastic computing. You'll meet Alibaba Cloud coming up in just minutes. If you happen to miss last week's presentations, we introduced you to new Telarus supplier Brodent, an international provider of global internet access, hardware, managed services. They are in more than 200 countries worldwide. You can hear last Thursday's Brodent launch and training call anytime. That recording is in your Telarus partner back office. Also last Tuesday, Ray Hicken moderated a discussion of two of Telarus' powerful UC and contact center providers, first with Connect First, intentionally bringing together stability, reliability, functionality, and unmatched support to create a superior platform to help your customer build a world-class call center. Connect First. And Ray continued with Clearview, revolutionary workforce performance optimization built by call centers for call centers, featuring unlimited data aggregation, actionable analytics, and enterprise-wide visibility. That is Clearview. All of that on last week's Telarus Tuesday call. Definitely worth a listen. The recording is in your partner back office. A couple of regional networking events coming up this Thursday, March 1st. Kick off the new month. If you're in San Antonio, join Telarus and Rackspace for their Cloud Boot Camp at Rackspace headquarters from noon until 4 p.m. Central. You'll learn how to create cloud opportunities and tackle that cloud conversation. The Rackspace Cloud Boot Camp breaks it down to help you win. It's Thursday in San Antonio. And if you happen to be near Minneapolis on Thursday, you can join Telarus's Nikki Beck along with Fusion, Nitel, and Viasat for breakfast at another edition of our popular Tech Talk, focused on success stories in selling cloud, UCaaS, SD-WAN, and security. We'll see you at the Cooper Pub and Restaurant from 9 until 11 a.m. Central this Thursday for Telarus's Tech Talk. Big thanks to everyone who joined us in Houston, Birmingham, and Atlanta all last week for our Telarus Innovation Conferences. You saw the pictures all over social media, and the conference will soon be making its way to you. These conferences are immersive technology training experiences with workshops and case studies on security, SD-WAN, contact center, and more. Take your business to the next level and network with the industry experts. 3 more conferences coming up in March. You'll see the screen here Tuesday the 20th in both Hartford, Connecticut and in Orange County, California, coast to coast. And then Thursday the 22nd in Philadelphia. Sign up now and check out the rest of this year's schedule at Telarus.com/events. We do have some special recognition today for two of our Telarus partners who've put up the biggest wins these past week. Let's show you who's making the money. Taking that number 2 spot on this week's leaderboard, Telarus congratulates Kara Mason. She is the owner of K2 Solutions, customizing client infrastructures while building trusted relationships. K2 hails from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Kara closed a phenomenal sale of fiber Ethernet-based MPLS services from ACC Business to a client in the healthcare industry. ACC Business helps you plug into the power of AT&T while receiving ACC's exceptional service and flexible suite of IP, data, and voice offerings. K2 Solutions made a perfect match of solution to need on this one. Congratulations, Kara Mason, on this very successful sale. Topping our leaderboard at the number 1 position, our congratulations and thanks go out to Morgan Smith and all of her team at Norwell Technology Group out of, appropriately enough, Norwell, Massachusetts. Named after Henry Norwell, a dry goods merchant who provided funds for maintenance of the town's roads. That's how you get a city named after you. Norwell Technology closed an extremely impressive sale of managed services from Rackspace to a client in the appliance manufacturing arena. Rackspace is certified to manage the world's leading clouds because one size doesn't fit all. Norwell Technology Group helps clients harness IT's limitless potential to drive their business forward. Norwell combines experience, stability, expertise, and service, and they came away the big winner on this sale. Congratulations, Morgan Smith and Norwell Technology Group, on landing our top Telarus sale of the week. So far, it has been a terrific 2018. Thanks to these top-selling partners and to all of you for trusting Telarus with your business. Telarus is built for you. Well, as I mentioned earlier, it is my great pleasure today to help introduce a brand new Telarus supplier on today's call. I'm joined today by Craig Piatti, Business Development for the Americas Manager at Alibaba Cloud, a worldwide provider of security, database services, storage, and networking, and Alibaba Cloud's elastic compute services to power cloud applications and achieve faster results with low latency for elastic and flexible resource utilization. Craig, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. I'm excited about this. Alibaba is a huge name and a very exciting relationship for Telarus. It will certainly benefit our partners. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about Alibaba Cloud and what's coming up.
Absolutely. So Alibaba Cloud is the underlying infrastructure for just about everything the Alibaba Group does as a whole. So for those of you out there in the field who may not know very much about Alibaba, we're the largest online retail commerce company in the world, but ultimately one of the fastest growing technology companies in the world. We have businesses along the lines of core commerce, digital media, local services, financial and payment services, logistics technology platforms, as well as advertising and data management platforms. We're kind of like the eBay plus Amazon plus Microsoft plus Google. So we have a little bit of everything, but the really cool piece about all of it is the underlying technology infrastructure is Alibaba Cloud. With that said, as Doug mentioned, we are the 3rd largest public cloud provider in the world today, and China's #1 public cloud services provider with just about 50% share in the market. Currently today, we're servicing just about 30% of all the Fortune 5 companies today, and our business is rapidly internationalizing. So similar to the companies you may be familiar with, like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, we have a global footprint of data centers servicing our cloud services, including here in the United States. So we have 2 data centers, or 2 regions in the United States, U.S. East and U.S. West. servicing a lot of our U.S. customers as well as our international customers going global. And then we also have a footprint in Europe, the Middle East, all throughout Asia-Pac is one of our core competencies. And then obviously we have the most infrastructure of any public cloud provider in China. Our services range from domain, ICP, which is like internet registration in China, DNS, elastic compute, storage, network, database, security, big data, middleware. So everything, again, that you'd come to expect in a major public cloud provider, we are at par or above par of all the major public clouds out there today. So on Thursday, I invite you guys to come out and really come learn a little bit more about us. On Thursday afternoon, I believe the call is, where we'll be going into detail about some of our services, as well as how we can help you to close business and ultimately get the biggest payout in the industry. Thank you, Doug.
Craig, oh, you bet. This is a huge partnership for Telarus and for all of our partners. In addition to all of the services you provide and the big name that they are internationally, you got to admit, Alibaba is fun to say too, isn't it?
It is. And
it
starts with an A, so it shows up first.
That's right. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have you guys as partners. Thrilled that you joined the call today. Just to reiterate our launch and training call, you don't want to miss this one. This is Thursday, March 1st. It begins at 11 a.m. Eastern, so that'll be 8 a.m. on the West Coast. Just jump in here on the Telarus Bridge as you did today for the call and learn all about Alibaba Cloud. This is a huge new partnership for Telarus. Craig, thank you for being here today. We look forward to hearing so much more on Thursday.
Thank you so much, Doug, and looking forward to seeing you guys all on Thursday.
We'll talk to you then. Thanks, Craig.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, because we have so much information to present again today, we won't recap training opportunities or featured spiffs today, but we do want you to know that all of our live and recorded training opportunities are in your partner back office at agent.telarus.com, and you can catch those spiffs and promotions. They're all listed at promos.telarus.com. You really should check those out. We've got big deals coming in, and there are some monster payouts available for some of those deals. Check them out. Don't miss that. Make some money while you're making some money. As mentioned earlier, I'm very happy again today to welcome Ray Hicken back to our Tuesday call. Ray is Telarus VP of Sales Operations for UC and Contact Centers, and you saw him tearing it up last week during our Telarus Innovation Conferences. If you heard Ray's presentation, you know I'm serious when I say no one knows Contact Center like Ray and his team. They know the market, the pricing, the distribution, the strategy, and the compensation, and this is a huge potential part of your business. This month we're featuring Telarus UC and call center practices, and today Ray welcomes special guests from Five9 and from SpiceCSM. Ray, welcome back to the Telarus Tuesday call. You've been traveling. How are you?
I'm great, Doug. Thank you. And it's been a great week last week as we traveled across the country, involved in several TICs, and we're excited to continue these as we move into the month of March. We'll have one in Orange County. But thank you for, again, all of you for being on the call this morning. This is installment number 4 on Contact Center and everything around the Contact Center, and we're excited to present 2 more companies to you that I think will really be a great addition for you to consider and look at as you get into this space. I've enjoyed this past month and each Tuesday morning speaking with you about Contact Center. 1, because I love the space and what we do there, but 2, it's a growing place, a growing market, and it's a place that you ought to be. And so hopefully we're giving you things that will help you to be successful, to hit the ground running, to find opportunities, to look within your base, which I believe all of you, if you look within your base, you'll find a contact center that's unrealized. So today as we begin, again, as usual, I do a tip of the week, and I wanted to just remind you to rely upon our team here, myself, Melissa and Bryson, and all the things that we're doing to try to support you. Some of the things that we can do for you, as you can see on this list, are really to help you to be able to coordinate and understand Contact Center by working out demos and meetings and doing discovery calls with you to help you look for unrealized potential and opportunity and revenue, as we can help you kind of look at the book of your business that you have and look for opportunities that they're not readily available or at least visible to you in your view of your business, and also to be able to help you understand what are the strengths and weaknesses of the different providers and what they bring to the table, and how you can best source these providers to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish in supporting your customers. And we're going to always keep you up to date on current trends and what's happening, and also we're going to make sure you understand how important it is to register these opportunities and these leads. Every time you have an opportunity, please come to us immediately so we can get it registered and protected. Again, as I've said in the past, it's not a ink wins situation in contact center. There is protection to you, and we want to protect you as soon as possible when you believe you have an opportunity. So I just invite you to continue to look to us, reach out to us. I've had several reach out to me over the last month who are realizing the resources that we can bring to the table. And in every case, it's been a great opportunity just to educate and to help you to succeed. So continue to look to us, continue to turn to us. And even though we won't be on a call next week or the next week after that talking contact center, please don't forget that this is a huge focus for Telarus and a huge upside for you, as the market is extremely ripe right now for growth, as many of these companies are moving from a prem world to a cloud world. And we're just seeing tremendous opportunities come to all of our partners and to us at Telarus and our providers who are so great at supporting us. So thank you again for joining these calls, and I appreciate you being here and reaching out and asking questions. No question is a dumb question, and we want you to ask any question, whatever it is, so that we can help you find opportunities. Today, I'm excited to welcome to the call two great companies. We're ending on a strong note. First of all, we have Mark Ervin, who is the Director of Channel Sales for Five9. Mark and I have known each other for a long time and been in the business and the industry together a long time. And he's a great resource, and he's actually a fun guy to hang out with and to have a good time with. He's a great personality, and you'll find him to be very engaging. We're excited about what Five9 is doing in the marketplace. They've had continuous growth and rapid growth. They sit up in the Magic Quadrant in the right-hand corner with the top three, and they're a leader in many areas in contact center. So we have enjoyed our relationship with them over the last several years and look forward to doing more with them. So I will turn the time over to Mark to go through his review of what Five9 can do to help you find and close opportunities in contact center, and then we'll move to Mike. Mark?
Okay. Thanks, Ray. Hope everyone can hear me out there. This is Mark Ervin with Five9. Ray said everyone at Telarus is excited about Five9. We're excited about Five9. We're excited about Telarus. So looking forward to working with all of you. Quick plug for Ray and the Ticks. If you haven't been out to an innovation conference, you ought to get out there. We've been out to 4 of them with Five9 now, I believe. And we had Ray was captain of an opposing team that was competing against our team. Scott was our captain of our team. And we had Ray come up and be the subject matter expert for contact center and actually sell against his team in our tick a little bit. So that was a lot of fun. But that's how it works in real life. Give him a call, and I'm sure I speak for Ray that he'll tell you, yeah, you have to put Five9 into that deal. Right, Ray? So anyway, a little bit about Five9. And this is an abbreviated presentation, if you will. Please contact me after the fact, and I'll give you the full Monty on the presentation. We'll go into deep detail with you, and we'll bring our resources out in person if you would like us to and everything. So Ray says use him as a contact center resource. He's not just eye candy. He actually knows his stuff. Feel free to use me and my team as well. Use and abuse us. That's what we're here for, in order to all make money together. So why don't we go Steph to the next slide, and let's get started. So, Steph, I think this is a different slide deck, but I can work with this. Let's be extemporaneous about this. So let me just start with an agenda of who Five9 is and why you should care, and how we're going to all make money together and all of that. So as Ray said, we sit up in the right-hand corner of the Magic Quadrant. Don't take my word for it on the sales guy. I'll tell you that we're amazing and make all kinds of promises like sales guys do. But take the expert's opinion as to who really can execute and perform on the promises that they're making in a sales environment. So really want to make sure that you as a partner and we together understand why we're doing this in the first place. Just to be really forthright, we're all coin operated and we all want to make money together, and you can make a lot of money in this space. I think as Doug mentioned, there's a lot of excitement and a lot of growing interest around contact center. It's extremely lucrative. So just to size the market, and you'll hear this if you go to a TIC, there's about 26 billion out there in contact center money, of which we're seeing about 15 or so moving to the cloud in the next several years, about 7 billion or so in the next couple of years moving to the cloud. So there's a huge amount of revenue to be made in the cloud contact center space. The beautiful thing about it is that you don't have to know how to sell this stuff. We sell it for you. We're your subject matter experts. All you really need to know is how to identify a deal. And once you know how to identify that deal and get into it, we can take over and you hand the ball off to us. You're still the quarterback in the deal, but consider us kind of you're running a run pass option and you're handing the ball to us and we're running with it and closing that deal for you and making you a lot of money in perpetuity. So just to kind of give you an idea of the kind of money that folks are making, our average deal out there in the enterprise space with our partners and others is about $640,000 a year. So that's a pretty big number. That's over $50,000 a month. You take that 50,000 times your commission rate with Telarus, and that's a little bit of gas money for you. So huge money, huge opportunity to be made out there. This slide that we're looking at right now is just a 30,000-foot view of what the contact center call flow looks like from a 5.9 perspective. I want you to just focus on the right side and see that we are omni-channel. Most of the interactions come in via phone, but we can handle the other methods as well, email, chat, etc., as you see there. All the magic is done in the cloud. You can see in the middle there the 5.9 cloud, and you see up and down the arrows that we integrate with all different kinds of applications. We're fairly agnostic. We like to consider ourselves. From a CRM perspective, we work with all the major CRMs out there. We work with all the major PBXs out there. We'll lay over the top. We don't have to do any rip and replace or anything like that. So the call comes in from the customer, it hits the cloud, and we can talk in more detail offline about how that works. But then it gets sent to agents, and it really doesn't matter where those agents sit, whether they're in-house or out-house in a BPO environment or what have you. So really high-level call flow there, but that kind of gives you an idea of what we do. Steph, let's go to the next slide and see what surprises us here. Okay, so there's the Gartner Magic Quadrant that I mentioned. You can see 5.9 is up and to the right. We're very transparent about who plays in this space. You can see some of the other names that you may have worked with in the past. We show this to you, we show it to your customers, and we say, here's who you ought to have in a deal. And what we like to focus on is that sentence down there where it says 5.9 is positioned as the highest ability to execute. That's the difference. People say, what's your key differentiator? That's it right there. Gartner says we have the highest ability to execute. What that means for you as a partner is that when we're implementing and post-sale, some of those things are happening, such as integrations and things of that nature, it's actually going to happen like we promised, and it's going to happen on time. Highest ability to execute means that our PS team and our customer service and support team are top-notch. And that's really our biggest difference between us and all of the other competitors out there. I should mention when we get into a competitive situation, 5.9 wins 70% of the time. So that's a pretty nice win rate. And part of the reason that we win so much is that we have these amazing reference customers that literally proactively will say, I want to be a reference customer for you because we are really enjoying the experience that much. And it has everything to do with the customer service and the optimization post-sale. But again, what that means to you as a partner is that you can feel confident bringing us into a deal with you, to say the right things, to do the right things, and to actually follow up after the fact. When you're not micromanaging that customer, we are, and we're optimizing their environment and actually growing that business for you to the tune of about 25, 30% every year, where your commission check is growing and you don't have to do anything. Steph, let's go to the next slide. So here's really where the money is made. I mentioned earlier, you don't have to know how to sell contact center. You need to know how to spot opportunities. And if you've been to a TIC, you'll recognize this. This is the old, the old jokes, you might be a redneck if. Well, this is, you might have a cloud contact center deal if you can answer yes to any of these questions. So as you read down through that list, I won't go through all of them, but just take a look and think of your existing book of business. I think Ray mentioned there are deals out there that are to be had in your existing Rolodex of folks. You don't have to go out and find new companies and look for contact center deals. Just think of the folks who you're working with right now today. If you can answer yes to any of those questions, you have what looks and feels and smells like it might be a contact center deal. That's it. And I should maybe back up and say, let's redefine the scope of what a contact center deal is, because most people think that it's a sea of cubes out there and people making outbound calls and collections, that type of thing. That is a contact center, but it's also any kind of interaction. If you think back to that call flow that I put up earlier, any interaction with a customer, whether it be inbound or outbound, any communication, email, chat, voice. It could be a 3-person IT help desk taking tickets. It could be a 10-person customer service team. It could be a 20 or a 200-person inbound or outbound marketing team, and anything in between. So we're talking financial companies, insurance companies, healthcare groups, you name it, law firms, etc. They all have contact centers. So I would say that if we sit down and talk about who you're working with, almost every single company that you're working with has contact center functionality. They're just not calling it that. It's just communication and engaging with their customers. So again, take a look at these bullets. We can talk about them in more detail after the fact. But this is the money slide right here, where you identify a deal. Once you identify it, you hand the ball to us. We do all the work for you, close the deal, make you money. Let's go to the next slide, Steph. I think we're getting close on time here. Once you identify the deal, keep going there. One more. There you go. Once you identify the deal, you simply call your support person or Ray at Telarus, and they'll register it for you. Or we have a link here, and here it is right here on the slide, and you can click on that, and that'll take you to a web page at Five9. And what you're looking at right here is the actual web page on the bottom. You fill out that form. It takes about 30 seconds. The next thing that's going to happen is one of our lead development reps is going to call you. We just kind of vet it out for 5 minutes on the phone. So we're going to call you immediately and say, let's talk about this. What do you got going on? And then we'll assign it to one of our field resources. So we have enterprise sales teams in all regions around the country as well as internationally. And we're very engaged, very hands-on. We want to be in person as much as possible. Not only, as I mentioned, on the back end when we're actually doing the implementation and integration, all of that, but also on the front end. We don't want to do things remote if we can help it. We want to be there in person. So we want to talk to you. We want to talk to your customers and have that one-to-one interaction. So anyway, you're registering the link here. We're assigning our folks, and then we're off and running through the sales cycle. We want to make sure that we understand. You see letter D there, agree on roles and responsibility. We want to know what you have in the deal already. We understand that sometimes we're one of 5 components in a solution sale that you have going on, and we don't want to step on your toes. We want to make sure that we're talking and walking on the same page and in the right direction in the sales process. Let's go to the next slide. This is more of what I just explained. So the key there is step 4, close the deal. We'll close that deal, like I said, with you 70% of the time, and then you're making money with Telarus. And that's really, it's as simple as that. I hope it's not oversimplifying it for you, but this is not rocket science. It's really kind of identify the deal, register it, and then let's get in a deal together, and then we do all the work for you. So the return on effort is extremely high. And when you do one, you realize, wow, I didn't have to do a whole lot, and these guys made me money. Let's do 3 or 4 more. And that's just how it works. Let's go to the next slide. So here's my contact information. As I mentioned in the very beginning, I and my team, we are happy to come out and do individual training. If you have a sales team as part of your organization, we'll come out and we'll train up your team. Can you think of us as a continued extension of Ray's team, right? I said earlier, use and abuse us. I mean that seriously. I am not afraid to jump on a plane. I'm on a plane every week going somewhere working with partners. It might as well be you getting your unfair share of our attention so that we can make money together. So if we don't connect after the fact, I always tell people it's our own fault. We really ought to. And that is my presentation. So let's open it up to questions. And I appreciate everyone listening and taking some time today.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. We're going to go to the questions at the end of our second presentation, but we do have several for you, so hang tight and we'll get those questions answered for you. I'm excited to now introduce you to Mark Harakal. He's the VP of Strategic Relationships with SpiceCSM. Again, I've known Mark for a few years now and different opportunities that he's been involved with. This is a great company that, again, adds to our portfolio. It makes us really rich when we go into the contact center space. Every company that has a contact center has other pieces that fit in or bolt into the contact center that are necessary to make it a successful call center. So it's not just the ACD, but there are other pieces that fit in. And this company, SpiceCSM, has a product that is really quite unique. It can be a CRM, but it's also an aggregator of information. And I'll let Mike explain to you how that works. But this is really a great product that is an addition to a contact center. And most contact centers need some kind of a CRM or an aggregator of the data that they're gathering from within the contact center from various points. And this is an exciting opportunity for you to understand how when you can't just sell the contact center, you can also go in and sell these other products and get your foot in the door when the ACD IVR comes up for renewal or that decision becomes an important decision. Or if they're already currently using a product that you brought in there, you probably ought to go in and upsell them on some of these solutions like SpiceCSM to help improve and enhance their call centers. So with that, I'll turn the time over to Mike.
Thanks, Ray. So let's slide on into that first slide. But today we're going to talk about who is Spice, what we do, what makes us special, customer outcomes that we like to achieve for you, and how to spot a deal, of course. And certainly to piggyback on what we heard earlier, anybody who's part of Ray's team is really here to be part of your sales cycle. We'll fit in however you need. We have the support, either remote or on site. We'll travel, we'll be there, we'll work with you on enablement programs. We're here for you. So let's move on to the next slide. So what is Spice? And we've got to bring up both the images at the same time, so I guess click again. But SpiceCSM, we're a data orchestration hub. At least that's what Gartner's calling our arena now, and it's relatively new. We're also calling it a customer engagement hub, and really the difference is one spans the entire organization, and the other one, with regard to customer engagement, is really contact center focus. So simply, SpiceCSM was built to simplify overly complex processes with easy integration, quick adaptable process flow development, and robotic process automation through a single view. And Ray did a great job talking about that. I've used a lot of bigger words, but at the end of the day, Spice is going to deliver the right information to the right user at the right time. So imagine now one agile and adaptive view into either contact center data or corporate data that any user can have access to within the organization. Has great value, no doubt, within the contact center. As we know, contact center folks can potentially be looking at a lot of different systems. They have a lot of different windows, and a massive increase in handle time and efficiency. This is just put that into one window. The market for this is vast. Gartner is talking about 80% of all enterprise companies will have a data orchestration hub over the next 3 years. And we are on the forefront of that wave by far. The belief by Gartner is that we have by far the most efficient and effective one on the market. There's very few companies that are even looking at this from the holistic perspective. And you can uncover these opportunities now. And like I said, we'll be there to support you in any way that you need, because this is relatively new, a new way to look at things. Back in the day, you'd pay Oracle or SAP $50 million to write software for all the different business needs in the company and build an overlay for it. And then anytime you needed to do something new, you'd pay them a ton more money. And so this has evolved now into a cloud opportunity that Spice provides that makes all of that super easy and very cost effective. So at the end of the day, we are primarily expressing information or data from different sources, but we can also hold the data. So we could be the CRM. If there are opportunities where you need a CRM to be part of the opportunity, we can be that. But we can also paint this vision of once you get into this single view, the single unified interface, and start holding data in CRM, we can expand on that. Let's go to the next slide. So to properly deploy a customer engagement hub, there's a number of components here beyond the CRM. So we can express as CRM, but really the value goes beyond that. Maybe you get in a deal with CRM, but we talked about the ability to create all of these additional data connections at some point in the future or today to provide an additional view. So outside of Spice, there's really no single platform that can deliver all of these necessary capabilities of a customer engagement hub. There are integration platforms, CRMs, decision tree software, scripting, RPA solutions, but there's really no other complete platform that addresses all of that here. And you've got some real easy ways to get in there, particularly in the contact center and the CRM. So the first two pieces address connecting disparate systems and then connecting people to those systems. And we do this very easily through our integration platform and our unified interface, which is that single view. But we consider these what we call table stakes because, you know, there are companies that are integrators that do that. But where the real magic happens is once we've got the customer in this unified interface, and frankly, Five Nines could have been one of those pieces in our unified user interface, or Oracle, or SAP, or JD Edwards, or another CRM, or Salesforce, what have you. We have amazing ability to create automations and guided workflows within that. So imagine all of those systems tied together, plus with a guided process that helps the person who's looking through it, particularly in the contact center, through an interaction with a customer. And then we start layering in automated processes. And these automated processes could be as simple as a sales cadence, where automatic emails are sent out at different stages within the interaction, or at the end of the day, closing all of the cases or escalating certain cases that meet certain parameters, like they've been open too long, or maybe there was customer sentiment involved where are tied to a particular interaction. You know, these are the kinds of things that we automate and have provided customers to automate. So the real now icing on the cake is that all sounds kind of complicated to do, but we make it super easy. This is actually these processes that I've been talking about are able to be done by what we call the citizen developer. There's a visual process editor that allows a person that doesn't necessarily know how to code but understands logic flow to drag and drop things and make these automations and guided workflows super easy. So this is an incredible market. And we've got by far the most complete platform to create that customer engagement hub. So we are excited to talk about the outcomes that these things deliver. Can we go to the next slide? So if you're in the contact center space, a lot of these numbers are going to look familiar to you, these labels. The numbers are going to blow you away. Our customers really do achieve these kinds of results. We have customers that are reflective of each of these. Imagine now to have a 51% increase in first call resolution in the contact center, 25% reduction in average call time. Multiply that times a couple hundred folks in the contact center, and you're saving the company or creating millions of dollars that they can use somewhere else or reinvest in their company. These statistics are sometimes hard to believe, but they're all driven right to case studies that we can work with you on and talk to the customers about. One thing that folks don't often think about right away when we're moving information into this single view is, hey, Mike, why is that such a big deal? Well, beyond just the ability to change the metrics in an interaction that we're having with a customer, imagine what it now means from a training perspective when I only have to train to a single interface. Many of our customers have 25, 30 systems. When they onboarded agents or other people in their company, they had to train those folks on all of those different systems. We have one customer that went from 6 weeks onboarding and training time to 4 days. Again, a massive, massive improvement in efficiency and revenue creation. Also, furthermore, from a contact center perspective, you'll often find that there's a great turnover in contact center agents, maybe as quick as 9 months. And that customer I'm talking about actually had a 9-month transition time where they would typically lose an agent after 9 months. So they trained them for 6 weeks and they lost them after 9 months. So not only did we create a massive increase in the time in which they had a productive employee, you'll keep those employees more now as well, because you'll hire not folks that can learn a bunch of different applications, but that in fact like to communicate with people and do their job in an effective manner. If you make them learn 15 applications and every time you change an application, it goes to a decreased desire to be excited about your job. So there's a lot of real good reasons to look at a unified interface. And, again, we're going to show you where to look. And help you identify these things, because you don't have to sell this, although you certainly can. Many of you are contact center experts, and certainly Ray's team is as well. We want to help you identify some of these places where you can get some quick wins and see some questions to ask to get us engaged. Can we go to the next slide, please? So quick wins. When you're talking about systems, I would encourage you to, when you're doing your discovery, to add to your discovery process, when you're talking to a company, how many different applications and systems do you use? And, I'm going to talk through the whole business right now as opposed to just jumping right into contact center. But at the end of the day, how many systems do you use? If you hear that they have a lot of systems, they are probably already looking to integrate them, to either integrate them or express them in some easier way. They're an opportunity. You just ask, hey, would it be beneficial to go ahead and let's just go right down into, because we run out of time, to questions to ask. This slide will be available. Go to the next slide, please. So, and again, good questions. Both slides are good. I would encourage you to take a look at them, but I'm going to simplify it super easy. How many systems does your company work with? Would you see value in having them be expressed through a single window? If you're talking to the IT director or the CIO, certainly the CIO, they're already looking to do this. You might as well get paid on it as opposed to somebody else. And then from a contact center perspective, how many systems does your agent use? How many times do they have to tab through a bunch of different applications? Well, would it be helpful, do you think, if they only had to look at one unified view? We'd really like to introduce that kind of solution into the solution we're working on for you. They're going to say yes, and it's going to be a lead. And they're trying to figure out how to do it. They're cobbling together things. They're trying to force everything into Salesforce. They're hiring integrators to integrate their existing systems. They are writing software to connect these things. We can make it super easy for them, super cost effective, and then allow them to go ahead and modify it through that visual process editor in the future. So now even the annual fees to maintain this go way, way, way down. So again, now that you got them thinking about systems in a unified view, well, once we get them into that unified view, would it be helpful, you think, to automate some of those processes that are involved there? Like, when I need to follow up on a sales call, would it be great if automatically emails went out? Or, at the end of the day, certain cases that were in certain certain dispositions or possibly needed to be escalated, if that happened automatically? Would it be great if we pre-qualified somebody based upon information that we got in a call for a new product, maybe even from a partner, and we're doing a revenue share? Or one of our customers uses these automated processes to push out firmware to cable modems, for example. A call will come into the contact center, and we'll already know who it is, and we'll know that their particular modem needed the firmware, but we don't want to send that firmware out to everybody all the time. We just want to send it out when they call in. All of a sudden, the firmware goes out automatically, automated process. Now we've got a new guided workflow with that customer. Hey, we understand that you got one of the older modems. Thanks for calling in. We already hit it with the firmware. Can you check to see if that fixed it? So these are the kinds of things that the automations now can solve. The return on investment is massive here. So here are some of the kind of questions, and and the easy one is, hey, are you looking for a CRM? Are you happy with your CRM? How much are you paying for your CRM? Do you pay $175 for Salesforce a seat? I think we may have a better solution, particularly for your contact center. We can give you a CRM that is set up perfectly to accomplish the need that you have in the contact center, and it's already integrated with the contact center. Could be Five9, could be InContact, could be anybody. We create the integrations with all of those disparate sources of data. So those are the questions to ask. Let's go down to the next slide, please. And this is just the closing slide. Again, you work through your channel manager, your current process with Telarus. We get brought in and we help you in any way that you can. We're very happy to build onboarding programs with you as partners, and specifically help you and train you to learn how to offer this. Again, we travel as well, constantly on the road, happy to meet with you locally, and we'll marshal our resources to help you win more deals. Again, this is an incredibly massive market that many of us weren't thinking about yet, but really need to be. Take the money for the companies that are looking to create that unified experience for data. They all are. They're going to now or in the future try and find a better way to look at the information that they've captured, and here is a way for you to earn money on it. Thank you. I look forward to questions and to work with you in the future.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. That was great. Let me just add to the conclusion of Mike's presentation here. Often when I talk to a call center and they're having to make a decision, they're saying they may need to change their platform because there are inefficiencies in the call center. And often when you dig into it and you talk with them about it, you can find out that it wouldn't matter what platform they used. It has nothing to do with the platform. It has more to do with how they're managing their call center. And this tool is one of those tools that helps to aggregate that data. You hear the term a lot nowadays about aggregating of data and to be able to have analytics around what's happening in your contact center. This is a perfect example of a tool that helps to solve a lot of problems for a company. So don't forget the power of SpiceCSM. So let's go to questions. I know that Mark has been answering some of the questions, but maybe, Mark, we should quickly verbalize what you said to some of those questions. The number of seats you start with is 1 to 5,000, correct?
I believe it's 1 to 5 million, Ray.
Okay. Okay. 1 to 5 million. Good. Another question came back is the viability for India Filipinos. The call centers are often seen to be using lower budget solutions. What's your response on that?
Yeah, we'll go into those regions. We're in those markets right now today. Just being extremely transparent. Nobody really likes that situation where there's these budget call centers, and if it's not a fit, we're not going to try and shove a square peg into a round hole. But certainly we have deals over there and opportunities that we're working right now today, and we'll take a look at each one individually. Each region has its little inherent, complications, if you will. But we're there and we have boots on the street. So let's talk about them.
Another question was, do you provide multi-languages? And I think you right now provide 4 and working on more.
Right, and that's a market decision. You know, English, Spanish, French, I guess French Canadian, if you want to count that as a little different. Portuguese as well. I guess if you want to really pad the numbers, we could say Australian and a few others, right? But it's really where the market demands. But those are what we're offering today in the interface.
Great. So one of the questions is a good question is, can a client keep the premise-based solution for calls but bolt on WFM as a standalone? And I know that Five9 has relationships with some of the leaders in the space, but let me just answer that for everybody. For Five9 to be able to sell the WFM, they have to sell their core platform. So they would not be able to do it standalone. I would say that we do have a couple of providers in the WFM space that are standalone that we can bring in on opportunities. But I will say that the relationships that Five9 have with WFM companies are the leaders in the space, basically. If they're looking for WFM, hopefully you can bring them in and have them look at the core platform. I don't know if you'd add anything to that, Mark.
Yeah, you know what, I'd add that a best practice in order to just increase your revenue is say, and I've said this in an answer to a different question, we do land and expand type sales all the time. And so oftentimes there'll be a customer who says, we want our prem-based equipment. That's fine. We'll say, let's try this 20-person marketing group over here. Let's do a proof of concept, right? And oftentimes when they're looking at, say, let's keep all our prem equipment, we want to bolt on WFM, just only WFM, well, maybe they'll try that 20-seat group with the cloud as a proof of concept. Invariably, another group looks at what that group is doing. They say, hey, I want that. And the next thing you know, they're all kind of migrating over to Five9. It happens all the time. So don't just look at that situation and say, oh, they just want WFM, I'll walk away from it. Offer a proof of concept. Offer a small group, maybe a little division, and you'll watch your commissions grow.
Great.
Or bring us in and we'll offer it, right? Because we'll offer the best practices all the time.
Great. Thank you. I know that there are a couple of questions about that registration link, and we will send that out to you, and it was on the slide presentation here. I do want you to know when you register through that link, we actually, Melissa and I, get a notification that you've registered it, so we can follow up with you as a point of support. Or you can just bring it to Melissa or myself, and we'll get it registered for you as well. So one of the other questions related to SpiceCMS was data orchestration. Do you do what Inference does? Can you speak to that, Mike?
Inference as in the IVR company?
Yes.
And I'll just, to some degree, we would very easily be able to take a look at ANI data and express information that is related to that particular ANI. We're not going to be the IVR company, but as we show the agent or the business user, the agent from a contact center perspective, what they need to see based on that particular ANI information, it would be dependent upon really what the company had associated with that ANI information. So if they had vast amounts of data that are associated with that ANI information that maybe spans 5 different systems, we could express all of it in the guided workflow such that the agent didn't matter where the data came from. They're just getting what they need to see in that single view that changes based on what they need to see. So if the initial script is just hello and gathering or confirming some other data, that workflow is going to change based upon whatever job the agent needs to do at a particular time, or whatever yes/no statements that we go through. So in that sense, inference could be part of what we do in the sense that we're going to help the agent understand what to do with that call that's coming in to them.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yes, very much. Thank you. Well, another question that came in was, well, Five9, this is both for Five9 and SpiceCSM. Does the customer CRM have to be an already established tool, for example, like Salesforce, or can they have their own customized CRM that was created specifically for their company and work with you? So maybe Mark and then Mike.
Sure. So if you read my response, I said over 60% of our CRM integrations are in-house, kind of homegrown CRM. So the answer is yes, we can integrate to what they have. Everything is APIs these days, and everything's consuming web services. There are very few. I think I've only seen one or two in the several years I've been doing this, the CRMs that we really don't integrate well with. So all of the name brands that you know, right? Salesforce, Oracle, Zendesk, et cetera, as well as the homegrown versions.
Thank you. Mike?
And that speaks to exactly what we do. There doesn't matter to us what the system is. We've even expressed data from mainframe systems, from old mid-range AS400 systems. Anything that you can think of that's modern in the last few decades, we're going to be able to gain access to. If we've never done it before, and a lot of that's the case for a lot of these custom integrations, and this goes to another question that was in there, it's going to take a little bit of PS hours to do that, and that may be a larger implementation fee. But things like Salesforce, NetSuite, and all the popular stuff, we're designed to reuse connections that we've made the first time. So once we've integrated once with one of those systems, we don't really have to pass that cost on to the customer. And frankly, if it's a system that we care about, that we think we're going to use again, let's presume we hadn't integrated with FedEx before, we may not pass that first-time integration to FedEx on a customer because we know we're going to use that a bunch of times. We're already integrated with FedEx. That was a bad example. But, some kind of off-the-wall shipping system that we see growing in popularity, maybe we're not going to pass that cost off to the customer. We're built to reuse stuff. So once we've made that connection, super easy to do the next time, and frankly, we may have already have a bunch of processes built out in what we call nodes that the customer can reuse. And as soon as they gain access to, say, NetSuite, and maybe we had 10 or 20 canned processes already built in as nodes, through that visual editor I was talking about, they can actually drag and drop and use that node library to build in their workflow. So that's our forte.
Great. Thank you very much. Well, we're up against the top of the hour. I appreciate everybody's questions. I think one of the questions that we didn't answer is there going to be a TIC in Chicago or around the Chicago area? And the answer is yes. That'll be September 20th is when it's scheduled for. So look for that on your calendar if you're in that area. I would just conclude, again, thank you all over this past month for joining us and talking contact center and all the solutions that tie into a contact center. And I want you to think, when you think Telarus, think contact center. When you have questions, please think Telarus around contact center. We'll be able to help you out. And our goal is to help you win and succeed. And with great providers like this and great partners, we're all going to win together in this space. And there's a lot, really, I can't overstate. There is a lot of revenue in this space right now that we should be all taking advantage of. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll help you find a way to win in this space. So I'll turn the time back to Doug.
Thank you, Ray. Outstanding information on today's call. That will about do it for today's event. My thanks to Telarus VP of Sales Operations for Contact Centers, Ray Hicken, his guests from Five9 and SpiceCSM. Also thanks to Craig Piatti from Alibaba Cloud, Telarus' newest supplier. Don't miss that launch and training call Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on the Telarus Bridge. And thanks to each of you for your attendance and participation today and every Tuesday on our weekly call. We invite you to send your input, comments, and suggestions for our call to marketing@Telarus.com. We will talk with you again here next Tuesday. Till then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Have a great selling week, everyone.